Okay, so right now I'm set up just in this corner of this farm field. We're next to Floss Road 11, which is just a little country road on a quiet day, just passing through the countryside. Today, by the way, is October the 7th. Here in Ontario, or here in Canada, this is our Thanksgiving Day. So it should be really quite quiet out, and it is early morning. But what I'm looking at right now, and what's kind of piqued my interest, is to the southwest of me. Not sure how well you're going to see this in the GoPro. Directly ahead of me is a grouping of trees that are showing a reasonable amount of fall colours. Slightly to the right of that, and kind of in mid-frame, there is an old barn protruding from, again, a small group of trees and some trees further to the right. The foreground is really just a harvested and now lying farrow farm field. The sky's grey. There is a little bit of contrast in the sky. It's still very early in the morning, and the light, we need that to increase a little bit again, as we've said before, as the morning light progresses. There is a little colour in the sky to the southwest, but again, the sunrise just isn't happening this morning. But I still like this shot. And I'm thinking and hoping as the morning progresses I might get a little bit more light on those fall colours. If that happens, it could be a good shot, it could be a great shot, I don't know. But I'm definitely setting up this morning, and I'm definitely going to have a go at this shot. So hey, we're going to set up the tripod, we're going to set up the camera. I'm using my Canon 6D today. And let's just see what we can capture. So stand by, let's get some gear set up. As I said, it's a little bit windy this morning, and right now it's quite cool, which is normal for a fall morning here in Ontario. This week promises to warm right up, the weatherman says. Today's high is about 16 degrees Celsius. Tomorrow's high is 25 degrees Celsius. Great for this time of year. We'll take as much warm weather as we can, because the winter's coming soon. But anyhow, let's get set up, let's see what we can capture here. Talk to you in a bit. Okay, so we are set up on the tripod. Now, we're just going to turn the camera off for a moment because we're not going to take a shot right now. We don't have light right now. We don't have the right light right now. We don't have enough light right now. But let's take a moment, just a quick moment while we're doing this, and talk about the composition. So let me again turn you towards the scene that we're looking at. Now, I have background interest. The background interest is the group of trees with the fall colour. I have midground interest. The midground interest is the old barn with the rusty roof and the worn out kind of pine wooden walls protruding from the trees there in the midground to the right. The foreground, that is a little bit of a letdown. There's the three elements to an image. We have two of those elements. We don't really have a foreground of great interest. We're simply looking at a field that's now lying fallow, past from being harvested with wheat probably a month or so ago. It's just lying still. So that's the foreground. Nothing of great interest there. A nice boulder, an old tree stump, anything like that would be great, but that we don't have in the foreground. So again, in this composition, we have midground interest, we have background interest, we have no foreground interest. But still, we're still going to wait for the light, and we're still going to capture this shot. Okay. So yeah, hurry up and wait. Patience this morning is key. Okay, so now it's about 8:15 a.m. Again, we're on the side of this little country road. There is a little bit of traffic heading down the road, but not much. It's quiet. As I've mentioned earlier, here in Ontario, or here in Canada, it's a holiday, Thanksgiving. Canon 6D, 28 to 135mm lens. I have a focal length of 100mm. I have an ISO of 400. I have an f8. It's giving me 1/30th of a second. Let's grab that shot. 2-second timer. There's the shot. Now, Of course it's not spectacular, but I like it. I actually really like this scene. And if I can edit and develop this correctly in Lightroom, this could very well be a scene or an image that becomes a selling image for me. I have no idea. Only time will tell. By the way, I am using today my Fujifilm XP130, which is a new camera to me. I purchased this particular camera for several reasons, but one of which, it does have a built-in time-lapse kind of mode, which I'm actually practicing with or trying out right now on this particular scene. I'm only letting it run for about 10 minutes just to see what happens, see what it puts together for me. It seems like a very rugged camera. I like the still images. The video quality is okay. There's even people out there apparently using this as their primary vlogging camera. That I doubt. But anyhow, we're checking it out for the time-lapse. Seemed quite tricky to set to time-lapse mode. Took me a while to figure it out, and I don't think I could do it again right now either, but I'm going to watch some tutorials on YouTube about it. So that's going to make me more familiar with it, but I just thought I'd mention that. So yeah, the Fujifilm XP130, we're giving that a try out. We'll see how it works. We'll maybe do a review on that down the road. But hey, I'm going to change the orientation, change the focal length. I'm going to change slightly the composition. I want to get less. Yeah, I'll turn the GoPro around. On the again, as we've mentioned before, there's very little foreground. The midground is the barn. To the right of the barn is the trees. This time I want less of the trees on the right of the frame. And the background is the fall colors. So hey, we're going to recompose slightly. We're also going to change the focal length slightly. We're going to see how we can reconfigure this image. Stand by. So we've reconfigured the focal length. We have a slightly different orientation. We've moved slightly to the left. Let's take a shot. This time we're showing an ISO of 400, f8, a focal length of 72 mil, 1/30th of a second, 2-second timer. My histogram has been showing me this is correctly exposed. Great. We're going to set one stop over, 1/40th of a second. We're going to set one stop under, 1/160th of a second. Hey, 3 images to create a possible HDR image. Let's see what happens. Okay, lots of fun, having a good time. It's going to warm up today. Right now it is a little chilly wearing my toque, but it is fall. But hey, let's move on. There's a couple of other areas just down the road that I'd like to take a close look at. So hey, let's pack up the gear from here. Let's head down there. Let's see what we can find. Right now, we're in an area which is a marshland. We're in the township now of Tiny, and the marshland is called Tiny Marsh. Hey, there's some beautiful fall colors over to the west there, kind of northwest, and the marshland, or the wetland if you will, which is really quite interesting, kind of in the foreground with, I guess you'd call it wetland growth, bulrushes, this type of stuff, kind of in the midground. So it's a very interesting location. I've never actually been here before, although I've been aware of it. I know it's here. It's not far. It's only maybe 20 kilometers from my home, if that, maybe even 15. I know there's a lot of, at certain times of the year, there's hunters. There's some here right now hunting waterfowl. But people come here, school trips come here at certain times, and the kids can get to see all the kind of waterfowl and natural wildlife around the marsh. But hey, what attracted me this morning was the fall color. So let's see if we can find an area where we can set up. Let's see if we can create a composition, and let's see if we can create an image. As photographers, that's what we do. We create images. Let's see if we can let's see if we can create one here. The breeze is cool. Man, the breeze is cool this morning, but we are getting some light, we are getting some brightness. we have an interesting sky. It's not just a plain sheet of grey. There is contrast in the sky, which is kind of nice. So that's okay. Okay, so we're set up. I'm guessing right now, let me see, what is my orientation? I believe we're looking west. We're kind of in the middle of the boonies a little bit here, so disorientation creeps in quickly, but I think we're looking to the west. This is the scene that we're looking at. So we can see the wetland. To the left, we have bulrushes and kind of wetland reeds and weeds and so on growing on the left side. And in the far distance, we have a beautiful array of greens, yellows, golden browns, oranges and red colors, fall colors of the trees. So I think that makes a beautiful little composition. I am using my 28 to 135mm lens. I do have a focal length of 50mm right now. I do have a polarizer on there. It's not very bright out. It's a gray sky, but I do want to cut the glare off or reduce the glare on the water. We have f8. Okay, sorry, we have f8, 1/30th of a second, ISO 400, 2-second timer. Let's take that shot, which we did. Let us go to one stop over. Take that shot. There it is. Let's go to one stop under. Take the shot. There it is. We're going to see if we can see if we can create something. I'm stood on some rocks here right at the side of the water, so it's a little bit precarious kind of situation, but we're going to see if we can create an HDR image from those 3 shots, and if we do, we will pop that up right now. You know what, this would actually be a really interesting place to put the drone up too. Although I am hearing shotgun shots in the background, I know this is a huge kind of a waterfowl hunting area, especially in the fall, and I did see hunters in the parking area preparing their gear, but still, I'd still like to pop up the drone, give that a shot. Hopefully it doesn't get shot. We'll see. Let's see what we can do here. Okay. definitely worth coming back to here. What I think might be interesting here too, and the fall colors are interesting, but I think if we got the fall colors with the first kind of covering of snow, like early winter snow, or kind of mid-fall snow, that would be really beautiful here. So I'm definitely going to kind of reserve this location. This location will go down in my book as a location to return to, and especially with our first snow of the year, I think it would look really quite interesting. So that's what we're going to do. Hey, we're going to pack up, we're going to head back to the studio, we're going to get some hot coffee, and we're going to see what we've got today. Today is going to be a busy day, even though it's a holiday. So hey, thank you for watching my video this morning. If you like what we're doing, please give me a like, give me a share, leave a comment. I will get back to you. And if you have not already, please subscribe to my channel. We'll see you next time. Bye bye.